All right, we have the essentials to abnormal psychology. This is the instructor's edition. So if you want to get extra smart and know what they're going to teach you, this is what you do. We have 14 brief contents, so 14 main chapters with a whole bunch of subchapters. Our main chapters are abnormal behavior in historical context, an integrative approach to psychopathology, clinical assessment, diagnosis, and research in psychopathology, anxiety disorders, somatoform and dissociative disorders, mood disorders and suicide, physical disorders and health psychology, eating and sleep disorders, sexual and gender identity disorders, substance-related and impulse control disorders, personality disorders, schizophrenia and other psychotic disorders, development and cognitive disorders, mental health services, legal and ethical issues. Let's go with, I like the impulse control disorders because sometimes, like, I have had problems with acting on impulse. So let's see what we can learn. 370. All right, substance-related and impulse control disorders. Okay, wow. Our chapter outline for this is perspectives on substance-related disorders, depressants, stimulants, opiates, hallucinogens. They say marijuana is a hallucinogen in this. Other drugs of abuse, causes of substance-related disorders. Wow, they have marijuana. They have marijuana with LSD and other hallucinogens. Right, that is, wow. Treatment of substance abuse disorders, impulse control disorders, and abnormal psychology live videos. I'm very interested how they're gonna say marijuana is a hallucinogen. So we're gonna go there. We're gonna find it. They don't have the page number, but we're gonna find it. Okay. Depressants. That's the beginning of the chapter. We got impulse control. That's what I was really looking for. Well, I don't see what they're talking about. Where is this? I'm trying to find the I don't know where I mean, I'm taking up too much time. I apologize. This is terrible. We'll just go intermittent explosive disorder. Wait a minute, that's right there. Impulse control. So we way past it. So this gotta be just substance abuse. Oh, here we go. This is actually kind of interesting. To rank today's commonly used drugs by addictiveness, experts were asked to consider two questions. How easy is it to get hooked on these substances, and how hard it is to stop using them? Although a person's vulnerability to a drug also depends on initial individual traits, physiology, psychology, and social and economic pressures, these rankings reflect on only additive potential inherent in the drug. The numbers are relative rankings based on expert scores for each substance. Do you want to know something that they don't have on here? Which is probably the most addictive that they don't even talk on here, and causes much more drama than probably all of these. Sugar, right? But they do have nicotine as the number one, right? So think about that, nicotine. And the other one was sugar, which, I mean, we could go in a history lesson, but I'm not going to. They got nicotine, then ice, glass, methamphetamine smoked, crack, crystal meth, methamphetamine injected, Valium, Quaalude, Seconal alcohol. Oh, wow. Alcohol is above heroin. And above crank, cocaine, caffeine. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Marijuana is above ecstasy, mushrooms, LSD, and mescaline. Okay. All right. That's actually pretty interesting. Um, okay. This is what they define as a hallucinogen. Any psychoactive substance such as LSD or marijuana that can produce delusions, hallucinations, paranoia, and altered sensory perception. I'm sorry, I'm still disagreeing with the whole marijuana. When was this book written? Copyright 2013. So in 2013, they were still trying to basically tell us that marijuana was just like LSD, right? A little bit of acid, marijuana, same thing. Yeah, that's completely wrong, but it's cool. We see how science changes over the years. Um, yeah, stimulants, you know. Let's see. Caffeine intoxication. Let's see. Recent consumption of caffeine usually exceeds 250 milligrams. Example, more than 2 to 3 cups of brewed coffee. 5 or more of the following signs developing during or shortly after caffeine use: restlessness, nervousness, excitement, insomnia, flushed face, delirious, gastrointestinal disbalance, muscle twitching, rambling flow of thought and speech, tachycardia or cardiac arrhythmia, periods of inexhaustibility, and psychomotor agitation. The symptoms in criteria B cause clinically significant distress or impairment in social, occupational, or other important areas of functioning. The symptoms are not due to a general medical condition and are not better accounted for by another mental disorder. Example, anxiety disorder. Wow. Okay, here we go. We got our marijuana. We're under the hallucinogens. All right, marijuana is the most routinely used illegal substance, with 15 million Americans reporting they used the drug in the past month. This is 2009. Marijuana is the name given to the derived plants of the cannabis or hemp plant. Its full scientific name is Cannabis sativa. Cannabis grows wild throughout the tropical and temperate regions of the world, which account for most of its names. Weed. Reactions to marijuana usually include mood swings, otherwise normal experiences seem extremely funny, or the person might enter a dreamlike state in which time seems to stand still. Users often report heightened sensory experiences, seeing vivid colors or appreciating the subtleties of music. Perhaps more than any other drug, however, marijuana can produce different reactions in people. It is not uncommon for someone to report having no reaction to the first use of the drug. It also appears that people can turn off the high if they are sufficiently motivated. The feelings of well-being produced by small doses can change to paranoia, hallucinogens, and dizziness when larger doses are taken. High school marijuana smokers get lower grades and are less likely to graduate. Linsky and Hall, 2000. Research on frequent marijuana users suggests that impairments of memory, concentration, relationship with others, and employment may be negative outcomes of long-term use. All right, here we go. And then I'm going to debate this. Although some researchers suggest that some psychological problems can precede usage, increasing the likelihood that someone will use marijuana. This is McLeod, 2004. The evidence for marijuana tolerance is contradictory. Chronic and heavy users report tolerance, especially to the euphoric high. This is 2009. They are Maines, Ben Abdullah, and Kotler, 2009. They are unable to reach the levels of pleasure they experienced earlier. However, evidence also indicates reverse tolerance. When regular users experience more pleasure from the drug after repeated use, major signs of withdrawal do not usually occur with marijuana. Chronic users who stop taking the drug report a period of irritability, restlessness, appetite loss, nausea, and difficulty sleeping. National Institute on Drug, 2005. Controversy surrounds the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes. However, there appears to be an increasing database documenting the successful use of marijuana and its byproducts for the symptoms of certain diseases. In Canada, for example, 4 cannabis products are available for medical use, including an herbal cannabis extract, Sativex, delivered in a nasal spray, Dromobil, Marinol, Nabalone, Sesamet, and the herbal form of cannabis that is typically smoked. Wayne, Collette, Shapiro, and Ware, 2008. These cannabis-derived products are prescribed for chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting, HIV-associated anorexia, neuropathic pain, and multiple sclerosis, and cancer pain. Unfortunately, marijuana smoke may contain as many carcinogens as tobacco smoke, and long-term use of smoked form of the drug may contribute to diseases such as lung cancer. Most marijuana users inhale the drug by smoking the dried leaves in marijuana cigarettes. Others use preparations such as hadish, which is the dried form of the resin in the leaves of the female plant. Marijuana contains more than 80 varieties of the chemical called cannabinoids, which are believed to alter mood and behavior. The most common of these chemicals includes the THC, an exciting finding in the area of marijuana research that the brain makes its own version of THC, a neurochemical called anandamide, after the Sanskrit word ananda, which means bliss, said Leck and Kaplan, 2009. Scientists are also beginning to explore how the neurochemical affects the brain and behavior. I'm high right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm still able to read, comprehend. I'm a long-time user of marijuana. I don't believe that I see very many hallucinogens. Laziness, I don't know. I wake up at 1:45 in the morning. I work pretty much all day trying to get this stuff done. I disagree with the book. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But again, this was 8 years ago they wrote this. And then within the last 8 years, they've disproven basically everything we've known before with everything.